Hello to everyone. I'm Evita Dialina. I'm an environmental engineer specializing in renewable energy sources and member of IAKE. Unfortunately, I couldn't be with you, so I have recorded my presentation about renewable energy sources in Greece. I wish you to have a creative and happy time there. First of all, let's start with the energy mix of Greece. Greece's energy mix combines different energy sources for electricity generation and overall energy consumption. Greece has relied heavily on fossil fuels, primarily natural gas and oil, for electricity generation and heating. In recent years, Greece has been actively promoting the use of renewable energy sources to reduce its carbon footprint and dependence on fossil fuels. Some of the primary renewable energy sources that were being exploited in Greece are solar energy. Greece has abundant sunshine, and photovoltaic solar panels are widely installed on rooftops, in solar parks, and on the ground to capture solar energy for electricity generation. Wind energy. Wind farms are actively harnessing the strong winds in various regions of Greece to generate electricity. Hydropower. Greece's rivers and streams have been trapped for hydropower generation, and hydroelectric power plants, both small-scale and large-scale, are used to produce electricity. Biomass. Biomass resources like agricultural residues, wood, and organic waste are used for energy generation through processes like combustions and anaerobic digestion. Solar energy development in Greece started in 2006 and increased substantially from 2009 because of the high feed-in traffic introduced and the corresponding regulations for domestic application of photovoltaics on rooftops. From August 2012, new regulations were introduced, including a temporary tax imposed on all operating photovoltaic plants. Licensing of new photovoltaic projects was put on hold, and the feed-in traffics were drastically reduced. In 2022, Greece was third in Europe in terms of the percentage of domestic electricity production generated by photovoltaics, behind only Luxembourg and the Netherlands, with a percentage 3 times the global average. The market for self-consumption systems more than doubled compared to the previous year. In addition, in 2022, solar panels accounted for 12.6% of total electricity generation in Greece. It's now 10th in the world in terms of the installed photovoltaic capacity per capita. Photovoltaics are by far the most democratic and depressed technology for electricity production. It's now the cheapest power generation technology, with the cost of photovoltaic panels having dropped by 90% from 2009 to date. Thanks to photovoltaics, 4.6 million tons of carbon dioxide were avoided in 2022. This is the amount of carbon dioxide emitted by 3.7 million new cars with internal combustion engines, each driving an average of 10,000 kilometers per year. Greece is a country with a long coastline and a huge number of islands. Therefore, the strong winds blowing mainly in the island and coastal areas give particular importance to the country's wind energy development. Actions to develop the wind energy has been taken through the country, and the European Union's renewable energy policy has contributed to renewable energy sources. The previous year, the volume of new installations was weak due to an increase in the suitable area for the construction of wind farms and the ongoing bottlenecks in the licensing process. But installed capacity is forecast to increase from 2022 to 2035, at which point wind power is expected to account for 27% of total installed generation capacity. Also, a public discussion has recently started in Greece concerning the exploitation of the country's enormous offshore wind energy potential. It also should be noted that the government recently took steps to exclude certain mountains from the installation of wind turbines in an effort to appease public reaction and protect the natural beauty in these areas. Also, it should be noted that photovoltaics surpasses wind energy in new and total installation, as investors have turned their attention towards solar power and energy storage. Today, a global effort is underway to reduce dependence on fossil fuels in order to limit climate change and environmental degradation. This is an extremely difficult task, especially for Greek society, due to the demography of the country, as the large number of islands causes serious issues in the decarbonization of the Greek islands. Carbon dioxide emissions from energy production has been a significant concern in Greece, as in many other countries around the world. Greece, like most developed nations, relies heavily on energy production to power its economy, homes, and industries. As I mentioned before, in Greece, energy production traditionally depended on coal and oil, which are among the most carbon-intensive energy sources. These fossil fuels release substantial carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere. This dependence on fossil fuels has environmental consequences and makes Greece vulnerable to energy price fluctuations and supply distributions. As we can see from the diagram, Greece has been taking significant steps towards reducing its carbon footprint and transitioning to cleaner energy sources in recent years. The operating of polluting fossil fuels power plants degrades the quality of life of citizens and the environment and poses serious health risks to citizens. Greece is trying to reduce its dependence on fossil fuels, and the closure of polluting power plants has been deemed imperative. In parallel, the country has been working on increasing its renewable energy capacity as part of its commitment to sustainability and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Therefore, it's advisable to consult more recent sources or government reports from the latest developments in Greece's renewable energy sector. Thank you for your attention.